Hey guys, it's Thursday, November the 18th. I actually have something else that happened today, but I'll discuss that later in a different vlog. Um, as you probably noticed from the whatever I end up titling this, it's not going to be a very happy vlog. But really, this is the first time mentioning it, because nobody at work knows yet. And depending on how long it takes to get this vlog up, they may not know for a while. But my Uncle Bill did die yesterday. He'd had cancer for a while, and I guess this last bout of chemotherapy just got to be a little bit too much for him. I guess he collapsed at the hospital, and he's gone now. So I never really know how to, because I don't know if I have a weird thought on death, but I don't know. The way I look at it is he's not suffering anymore, and it's just like, I mean, that's why I don't generally mention it to people, because then they just go overboard with this, like, oh, is there anything I can do? Can I help you? And I'm just like, no, it's okay, I'm fine. I mean, it's a little bit different than, like, if my 12-year-old niece Kaylee had died in a car accident or something. I mean, I don't know. The way I choose to look at it is, he's in a better place now. I mean, you hear people say that, but I mean, it's kind of hard for a lot of people to accept that, and actually, not necessarily believe it. I don't know. I never really know how to explain this. I don't know. I asked one time on a question, some website. It might have been like OkCupid or something. Because I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be. I'm not heartless. It's not like I don't care that they're gone. It's just, like, I understand. I know they really are in a better place. Like, I have more of a problem with my loved ones suffering. So if they're not suffering anymore, I don't see a reason to be sad about that, And especially it's like, he's reunited with, my grandpa and my grandma, I'm sure, and my cousin Ray, who died at a young age. I think he was in his 30s. He had a car accident on, that's another interesting story, because I remember being in school, and one of the teachers had mentioned something about a bad car wreck, and she said something about, oh, you automatically think it's somebody you know. Well, I didn't. And it turned out to be my cousin Ray. But I was young. I didn't really get a chance really to know him all that much, because, I was just a stupid kid. Now I'm an older stupid kid, But it's, like, they're all, I'm sure they're, wherever they are out there in the universe, they're hanging out together, they're at the lake, they're having a picnic, and Grandpa's having a great time skiing, and, Bill's probably driving the boat. So, I don't know, I don't know, I feel like I come across heartless with this sometimes, but, I'm really not, because Mom, she even asked me, she's like, did you want to come back for the visitation or anything? And I'm like, no, like, I'm not a visitation person. I'm not a funeral person. Like, I don't see, this is where I feel like I come off like heartless, but it's not. It's just like, I don't need to see a mannequin of my loved one in a box. Like, they're not there, I don't know. It's just that, like, that's just how I see things when it comes to death, I mean, as long as it's not really a surprise, I guess maybe this one was a little bit of like, I don't know for sure exactly what happened. I know, he was in, I think Mom said he was in for his chemo treatment. And but still, I mean, cancer's a bad thing anyway. you know. But yeah, I'm sure. Actually, Bill is probably after he's done driving the boat, he's gonna put some burgers on the grill because Bill could cook a mean burger. I don't know what he did to him. He actually he ran a restaurant, kind of a restaurant, and at one point it was an arcade. But he had multiple. uh, well, there's still a restaurant in Hardin, but it kind of switches hands. You know, he had it in, he had it there. Actually, I think maybe both places, because I kind of remember his restaurant being in this section of the building over here, but then later it was in this section over here. So I don't know if they just, because I was there again, I was too young to really. I just remember being in there. Um, so I don't know if he turned this half into the kitchen and then this half was just the restaurant or whatever. And there was kind of an old. This is where the story of Mrs. Tabler comes in, because every time something weird would happen, like well, I mean, as a kid, it's kind of weird to see a glass move across the table by itself, but it's one of those things. It was, when you have that little ring of water and you set the glass down on the ring of water and it kind of, it kind of follows the path of the ring of water. Like that is something that would happen, and the door would open every once in a while by itself, which was probably the wind, but Bill always used to say it was Mrs. Tabler because there was this big, for Hardin it was big, two-story house, kind of creepy, right next door to the restaurant. So anytime something a little odd happened, he always said it was Mrs. Tabler. Like I don't really know who Mrs. Tabler was. I guess she used to live in the big old creepy house. So he had it there, and then I would say basically around the block, because that's basically Hardin only has one block. Kind of over by the train tracks, there was this building. He had it in the place where he had it in the bigger building at one point, over by the apartments. He had it there, so there's two places. And then he had the longer building over by the bank, so there's three places. And then he kind of moved into a smaller building right next door. So that's four. He had it at least in four different locations that I remember. But it was always really good food. Really good food. So but I mean, that is, my vlog is my life, and that is something that I wanted to document, So it would have been on the 17th when he died, in November. It's November now. Gosh, I can't even keep track. November 17th of 2010 is when my uncle Bill died. And I don't know if I don't really have any pictures, or I don't have any video of him either, because I hardly, now that I have this camera, I'm not in Hardin very much at all. But I don't know if I can find some old clips or something. Maybe I'll put together maybe I'll put together a vlog, a little special commemorative vlog for him. I don't know when I'll have a chance to get my hands on anything like that, but But anyway, Bill, wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying the picnic by the lake, and I'll see you someday too.